I'll tell you one thing. I'm not a real big fan of the new Transformers Prime toys. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it's the whole size difference thing, or if it's the whole price range thing, or maybe it's just because they're big lack of colors and paint. That's probably the last one. Which is why I'm happy the new Transformers Prime Beasthunters toys are here, because they don't seem to have that problem. They seem to have plenty of color and personality. And it really does show with this guy. Transformers Prime Beasthunters Lazerback. Look at this little guy. I really have to say, one of the things that really attracted me to this guy was his colors right away. I really dug the red on gold on yellow on purple. He's very colorful. He doesn't have, they really did do a lot with a little bit, I really have to say. Now, let's just go ahead and cover the weapons real quick, because I really don't like them. They're just, I can't get it off. They're your typical Beast Wars kind of weapons. You got the Beast Mode tail, and it works as like a whip. To me, it looks pretty ridiculous, so I usually just leave it on his back. And of course, you got this gun here. Now you'll notice something. This little nub here. Originally, it was probably about that long, but it's probably about that long. But it led to some problems. Not really in vehicle mode, but in his robot mode. I keep wanting to say vehicle mode instead of beast mode. You'll notice that it clips simply there, no problem. Well, since it was so dang long, he would usually have to hold it off to the side like this, because it protruded out so far it would hit his arm. That led to a lot of problems, and plus it had a tendency to misfire. Yeah, it does fire. Not very good though. Doesn't really fire very good. So yeah, I basically just clipped it off here, and yeah, it still kind of works. Sorta, but it's a bit of a nightmare to get back in there sometimes for some reason. But let's cover, now that we've got the crappy weapons out of the way, which I really don't like them at all, let's just go ahead and take a look at the figure itself, which is actually quite good. He pretty much has everything that I want in a Transformers toy. He's sturdy, and his articulation is very good without being very confusing. Speaking of which, his arms go all the way around, go up from the body. He can do that. He can rotate at the bicep, but it's kind of tight here. His fist can rotate, and he can bend at the elbow, but only to there, so it's a little limited. His head can rotate, can look up. It's a little loose though, so yeah. His legs can go forward, back, out from the body, but just to there. And of course he can bend at the knee, really good knee by the way. And his feet are on ball joints, so you can get him in some pretty natural stances, pretty wide-legged stances without making him look completely retarded. He looks kind of retarded in that pose, but whatever. Get this bit. But yeah, a very nice little robot mode. Overall height is actually considerably a lot bigger than a lot of the other Transformers Prime toys. Well, his overall height is nothing super special. I mean, next to Jazz here, he is a bit shorter, but he is kind of stocky and bulky, so he's got a bit of weight to him. He actually does feel relatively good in the hand. Let me look at that. Let's take a look at his head sculpt real quick, just get that out of the way. I'm really digging that. Actually really like the sculpt on that. So but yeah, that's pretty much all I can really say about the robot mode. It's very simplistic, not a lot to it, but that's the way I like them, very simple. Well, shall we go to his beast mode? So here we have him in his beast mode. Oh, isn't this the cutest but yet the most badass thing you've ever seen in your life? I mean, look at him! I mean, he's got like this very aggressive overall look, but yet this sort of adorable stance. But he's also got these awesome spikes, but yet this cute little tail. And of course he's got this really mean looking face, but the cute little canine sticking out of his mouth. I'm not sure why. I mean, he's so cute, but yet so badass. I absolutely love it. Now, one thing that people have complained about is the way his head is shaped. Well, not really the shape of the head, it's the fact that it's always kind of looking down. So you have to have him in like this somewhat sitting position, but actually, this actually is not a sitting position because his butt is not on the ground. Judging from the way his back is shaped and the way his tail curls up like that, this is his normal standing position. I actually kind of like that. That seems like a very natural stance to me. I'm not sure what it is about this stance, or if it's just maybe the way he's proportioned, but he kind of reminds me of Spyro. Or maybe a baby dragon of Ignitus. I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? But yeah, he's a very menacing but yet cute looking little guy. Other than the fact that you have very visible robot mode hands. That is a bit of a turn off, I will admit. Let me zoom out a bit. So, yeah, I also love these spikes here. It gives them a lot of personality, even though they are very rubbery plastic, so be cautious while using these. Well, he does have an attack mode. Yeah, this was also a slight issue due to the longness. They had to remold, see this big gap, they had to mold it in such a way to where it would fit, and it did have a tendency to like to fire as you try to tuck it away. Really, the only thing I can complain about, other than the hands here, well, I mentioned before that the head is always looking down. Well, slightly. It can't really go up. It can't really like look all the way forward, which doesn't really bother me too much. But it is a little annoying. I mean, it works for poses like this, but for other more aggressive poses like this, for example, he's kind of like in a prowling position. It's sort of, yeah, it makes him look like he's looking down. It doesn't really bother me too much though, because it makes him look a little bit more menacing to me. It looks like he's kind of looking down, getting ready to charge, but his head is still looking down, kind of. But I hope these people do realize that he can simply move his eyes. Speaking of the head, let's go ahead and take a closer look at it. So yeah, even though I really dig the overall design of the head, that nice shiny purple dome, I really have to admit, I really wish they would have put in some like pupils or something in his eyes, but I've also really wish they would have paid more attention to his mouth. It does open, but it doesn't look right. It really doesn't look like a mouth. It looks like the jaw is all the way back in his neck. It does not look natural. There really should be like some type of something right here connecting it, making it look more natural. And plus, on top of that, the teeth just look wrong. That is not how you do dragon teeth. They got the canines right, but the rest of the teeth do not look like that. This is not how you do dragon teeth. Take a note from furries everywhere. That is not how dragon teeth look. Dragon teeth look like this, not like this. But anyway, back to the figure. As articulation goes, like you saw there, he can really crack some really sweet poses, even though the head doesn't move, doesn't turn. I really wish it would turn, but it doesn't bother me too much. But as you saw there, he can crack off some pretty kick-ass poses here and there. I mean, he pretty much retains all the same articulation as he does in robot mode. There really isn't anything new to cover in his beast mode when it comes to articulation. I mean, all the arms and legs still have pretty much the exact same articulation as they do in robot mode. So he's pretty much very articulate in when it comes to the arms and legs. But when it comes to his tail and head, he's pretty much a brick. It really does kind of bum me out that his tail don't move, but it doesn't bother me too much. Oh yeah, another small complaint. For some bizarre reason, these little spikes here are painted gold on the outside, but not on the inside. There's a lot to love about this guy, a little bit to hate. Not really hate actually, but I really love this dude. Probably my all-time favorite probably my all-time favorite Transformers Prime toy. Really love his beast mode, really dig his robot mode, love the colors. I really do recommend picking him up. If you can really tolerate the whole head issue, he definitely is worth the price that Hasbro charges him for. Well, that's pretty much all for now.